All right. In three, two, one, go. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Beyond Sumba Talk number 2. Previously, we had this kind of event with one of Sumba Cendekia team members, Mr. Avander Adu, who is currently studying at Colorado in the United States of America. And tonight it's even more exciting. We're having a collaboration with Cemara Education from Tangerang. So join with me tonight. We have Mbak Hari from Cemara Education, who will be leading this talk show as the moderator with our wonderful guest speaker, Miss Priscilia Teresia, which will be further introduced by Mbak Hari later on. So, Beyond Sumba Talk is an event where we invite somebody that is now studying overseas or has studied overseas to share their amazing experience, their knowledge, their expertise with all of you who are interested in learning about what it takes to go overseas to continue your studies. And we're doing this event in English, but don't worry if you have difficulties in expressing your ideas or thoughts in English, you're welcome to speak Bahasa Indonesia. And we hope by joining this Beyond Sumba talk, you can be inspired and you can also get scholarship to study overseas. And as our theme of tonight's meeting says, you can enjoy living and studying in the UK. Not only in the UK, but also in your dream country, really overseas, either in Europe or in America or in Australia or even some Asian countries like Singapore, South Korea, or Japan. So, without further ado, please join me to welcome Miss Hari Afriani as the moderator of tonight's meeting. But Hari, you're welcome to introduce yourself and Chamara Education before we start our talk show tonight. The screen is yours, Hari.
Thank you, Pandre. Hi, everyone. How are you? I hope you're excited for today's meeting.
Yes.
So today it's a Beyond Sumba Talk, episode 2, and it's presented by Sumba Cendekia. My name is Harry. I'm from Timur Education, and today or this evening I would be the moderator. So first of all, thank you so much for joining us today, and we are going to explore what it's like to live and study in the UK. And joining us today is someone with first-hand experience, so she studied in the UK, obviously, and then she's such an amazing person. So Miss Priscilla Teresia, please join us to welcome her, guys. Feel free to use your reaction button. Yahoo!
Hello.
So, Miss Priscilla Teresia completed her master degree in University of Edinburgh. I think the program is carbon management, master in carbon management. And right now, she is a project manager at Maneuver International, a brand strategist agency and communication firm, where in this company, she oversees the end-to-end project delivery across branding, communication, digital campaign, and sustainability initiative. So she's here to share her experience as an international student about the challenges, the opportunities, and everything in between. So, thank you for being here, Miss Leah, and we're excited to hear about your experience. And without further ado, let's begin. Miss Priscilla, the time and the screen is yours.
Thank you so much for the warm introduction, Miss Hari. Hello, everyone. I'm Leah. You can just call me Leah. And for today's session, I love to share my experience through visuals like photos and videos. So I actually prepare a presentation deck so that you can also feel how it is to live in the UK through my pictures and my videos that I show you. So I'm just gonna share my screen really quick. Okay, I hope that it's visible to you all.
Yes,
Okay, let me just start the presentation, and I just want to make sure that my voice is clear to you.
it's nice and
Yes.
clear.
Okay, thank you very much, Kak Andre. And so let's start. So this is my proposition for you guys. This is why I studied abroad, and this is why you should too. So one of my uni professors, when I did my undergrad, he said to me that you have to study abroad to see how beautiful Indonesia is from other people's eyes, and I sort of took that into my heart, and I keep that as one of my motivation to study abroad as well. And so this is everyone. This is why I studied abroad and why you should too. So just a little bit about me. Miss Hari had already did the introduction for me. And just to add a little bit that I'm also an LPDP awardee, I did get the scholarship in 2023, and I went to start my master's degree in 2024 September, and I finished it last year. I graduated in November 2025, and I'm originally from Soe, East Nusa Tenggara. So it's like a small town around 3 hours from Kupang, 3 hours drive from Kupang. And I did carbon management. So basically, it's climate change management. They changed the name of the course last year because climate change management make more sense actually to if it's according to what the syllabus and everything that we learn in the course. So if you are trying to find carbon management at the University of Edinburgh, you're going to find climate change management right now. And so that's it. And let's start my journey of my study in the UK.
Miss
Before we
Miss
start, I think,
Elias, apologies for interrupting.
yeah.
I think we still in this first slide of your presentation why
Oh,
I
I'm
studied abroad.
so
So if
sorry.
you could click the other tab, maybe we could see the presentation.
Let me just,
Yeah, if you click present and then reshare, so we could see all the slides that
I tried to,
you click.
let me just stop share for a
Yeah,
bit and
mhm.
then I will reshare.
Reshare. Yes,
Yes. I'm sorry about the technical
no
issues.
problem at all. It happens. Yeah,
Okay.
luckily I noticed that. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
It. Yeah. It
Okay.
is the present button working?
I think so because
Okay.
it's working on my screen.
Oh yeah,
What
this is
about
yeah,
this?
this is working now. Okay,
It
cool.
is?
Yeah, if you click that full screen, maybe that would be better.
Oh no, that's bad because I use animation.
Oh,
No.
okay. Yeah,
I don't know how to do that though, but let me just check a little bit. Oh no.
that's right. Okay.
It's okay. I'm
Yeah,
just gonna share. Okay.
yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
No worries.
I'll try one more time. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Okay, I'm just gonna continue
Yeah,
without the full screen. I hope that's okay. I do have videos to show you though, but
yeah,
let's see along the way. So
yeah.
these are some of my culture shock. I hope you can see the screen right now.
Yes.
Yes. So first
Yes,
of
we
all,
can see.
yeah, thank you very much. So first of all, it would be the weather. So the weather in Edinburgh, in Scotland, and I think generally in the UK is quite unpredictable. When I arrived there, it was around 17 degrees Celsius. I remember it vividly because it was really, really cold because I had just spent like 5 months in Jakarta. That was very humid and it's quite warm, the weather in Jakarta. And then I arrived in Edinburgh and it's quite the opposite. Jakarta is warm and Edinburgh was very, very cold. So I remember wearing like my coat every day for the next couple of weeks and months because it was almost winter time as well when I arrived in Edinburgh. So the weather was really a shock for me. I hope you can see the video and you can hear it. Yeah. Can you hear the video if you guys?
You could reshare and share the sound as well, Miss Leah. Sorry.
Sorry.
You click the
Oh yeah.
share sound.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
unshare, reshare, and click the sound later. If you
Okay.
can unshare. Yeah, perfect. Wow,
So yeah,
very
that's
windy.
I think I took that when my friend and we went hike up the hill. It's called Pentland Hills. And it was really stormy. And the day before we saw the weather app, it said that it was going to be sunny. I didn't know why it was windy and stormy all of a sudden. But yeah, that's one of the experience I would never forget. And that's the first culture shock. And the second one would be Scottish accent. I was really confident with my English. I did understand when people speak in British accent, but when I heard Scottish accent, I thought it was completely different language because they speak fast and also with an accent. So at first it was really hard for me to sort of figure out their accent, but then I got used to it. And I think it's one of the most beautiful accent I've ever heard when people speak in English. And the last one, not least, is the architecture, of course. So in Edinburgh, they do not have high-rise building. I think the highest building in there, the highest construction in there would be the Scots Monument in Princess Street. I don't know, it's around like 100 meters or so, but it was probably the highest construction in Edinburgh. And I think it's really cool because when you walk around the city, it just feels magical. It feels like you are walking through the books that you read when you were a little kid, or like you're walking around the movies that you watch around about medieval times, about kingdoms and all that stuff when you walk around Edinburgh, which is really, really cool. And let's move to the next slide. It's about my academic journey. So, like Miss Hari had introduced me before, I studied carbon management. So basically, I studied climate change, about the impacts, about the adaptation, about how we can mitigate climate change, how we as a society could come together and do something to tackle down the issues with climate change. I met a lot of amazing people. My professors, especially, they are really, really amazing. They are doing their job as one of the scientists, especially in the field of climate change, and I learned a lot from them. I also learned about politics. I learned science. I learned about social sort of part of climate change as well, how climate change affect indigenous people, how climate change affect women, children, elderly, also about how some countries, some developed countries and developing countries face climate change in different ways because of the resources, because of the mindset, because of the technology as well. And it's really cool. And I hope to actually contribute to the society. I'm on my way actually to contribute to the society in regard of climate change as well. So these are some of the pictures that I took. I didn't really take pictures when we were doing classes or when we were doing like presentation and stuff. But these are some that I could actually find that I could show you. And in here you can see this is one of the parts of my dissertation. So basically, I did my dissertation in blue carbon and how the community could actually conserve mangroves. So basically, blue carbon is the carbon from the atmosphere that mangrove or seagrass can actually sequester or like save to help the atmosphere so that there would be so much amount of carbon in the atmosphere. So that's just basically a simple explanation of what I did for my dissertation. And that's my academic journey. And let's move to my uni. Let me show you my uni where I studied. So basically, the University of Edinburgh, all the buildings are not situated in one place. They are sort of separated into several places, several parts of the city of Edinburgh. On the left side here is the McEwan Hall. McEwan Hall is our graduation hall. Some courses actually use McEwan Hall for other classes or studies or exams because simply they have too many students in the class. So they would use McEwan Hall because it's a big building. And on the right side is All College. All College is actually the house to the School of Law of Edinburgh. There is also a Talbot Rice Gallery. And I haven't been to a lot of rooms in Old College, but it's actually really close to where I live. It's around 5 minute walk, and it's sitting right in front of a bookshop that I really love to visit. So this is Old College, and it's very iconic because when you say Edinburgh, everyone would actually associate it with the Old College. So this is two of the buildings. We also have other buildings on the left side. This one is Edinburgh Future Institute. I did not have any classes here, but I did go there to take pictures because it's a beautiful building. In the middle, you have Edinburgh Climate Change Institute. This is the main building of my course. We did around 60% of the courses here. And this is where the magic happens. A lot of climate change experts, a lot of climate change academics, they are working here in the University of Edinburgh to sort of I think there are a lot of fields in terms of climate change alone where they actually work in here, and it's a good place to study as well. And there are usually a lot of events for climate change or like carbon capture, and they are usually being held in Edinburgh Climate Change Institute. And the last one on the right side is actually me taking pictures from the library. It's a shame I didn't get to take pictures of the library, but this is where I usually go through when I want to go to the library, where I spent around 50% of my time doing my dissertation. And so that's about my uni. And these are my friends, these are my classmates, and also my professors. They are sitting in the back, Adam and Matt. And these are not all of us. There are 26 of us from different countries. We are very diverse, although there are only 26 of us in the class. Um, and this photo was taken on the same day when we submitted our dissertation. So we decided why not just, you know, go and have a drink in a pub and tell everybody what our next plan would be after submitting our dissertation. A lot of people went for vacation, a lot of people went for like nature hiking or camping, and it was really fun to hear what they had to plan for their future as well. These are some other pictures of me and mostly my classmates. Some we take when we were on like a trip, and also we just love spending times. I have one particularly close friend. Her name is Anna, and she's from Germany, and we are still in touch. And she would love to like share her daily life with me, and it's really cool because we sometimes we would have like a video call just to tell everyone how our day went. And of course, we would send everyone, we would send each other reels on Instagram. And I think that's very typical Gen Z of us, and probably some of you as well. And let's move to exploring Edinburgh. Let me take you to explore Edinburgh. I did actually use an animation for this, which is a shame that I couldn't show you using animation. But on the left side here is the statue of Sherlock Holmes. I was obsessed with Sherlock Holmes, so I decided that I had to take pictures and go to the spot. It was actually really close to where I live as well. And on the right side, on top right here, is when the cherry blossoms bloomed. It was really beautiful when it happened. I think it was around March or April. So you would see cherry blossom just bloomed, and it was pink and white all over the city. And there on the bottom right is the Elephant House. If you're a fan of Harry Potter, you would know that this is where J.K. Rowling actually spent some of her time writing Harry Potter. It's actually closed now, but they opened the other one on the Victoria Street. I didn't take the picture of it, but this is the original Elephant House. And let me just show you the video of what I compile actually from my time exploring Edinburgh.
And there's a place that I've dreamed of where I can free my mind. I hear the sounds of the season and lose all sense of time. I'm moving far away to a sunny place where it's just you and me.
Okay. Before I continue, I just want to make sure that my voice is clear to everyone.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Let's move. I was a little afraid because I couldn't share it with full screen, so I'm afraid that there will be another technical issues, but it's all fine. And these are some of my favorite nature escapes in the UK. In Scotland, because these are all taken in Scotland, but I love going to explore the nature. I didn't hike when I was in Indonesia, but when I was in Scotland, I hiked a lot. I went running a lot as well. I have asthma, for your information, so I didn't actually run when I was in Indonesia, but it's a shame that you don't explore the nature when were in Scotland. I think it has one of the most beautiful nature in the world. I mean, Indonesia, of course, has the best one, but when you go to Scotland, you would understand what I mean. So on the left side is where I usually spend my morning walk. It's in the Arthur's Seat. Arthur's Seat is an active volcano in Scotland. It has like lakes with a lot of ducks and swans just swimming around, and it feels really magical when you walk around sunrise. So I went there a lot in the morning. And the second video was the one I took when we were on our way to Isle of Skye. So Isle of Skye is actually part of Scotland as well. It's not so there it's very famous with its beautiful landscape and view and nature. And the third one is also when we were on our way to Isle of Skye. It's like 10-hour drive from Edinburgh. So we did make several stops. And if you watch James Bond, one of the scene of the movie was taken in the Isle of Skye. And I think this is around the place we made the stop. And I think it's James Bond Skyfall. So they literally went there to shoot one of the scenes in James Bond. And the last one is North Berwick. It's around 30-minute train from Edinburgh. I went there with my friend Anna, and we had the best time ever. The weather was nice. It was sunny, not really cold. We get into the water, and we had ice creams. Also, it was really beautiful. There are usually puffins flying around in a very specific time of year. We didn't get to see the puffins, but other than that, the weather was beautiful, and the nature itself is also beautiful. And of course, I love museums. I love learning about museums and cultures. That's one of the best part in the UK. These are only 4 of the museums that I visited when I was in the UK. One of them is National Museum of Scotland. I visited there. The first time I went there was with my classmates. So there are thousands and thousands of things you can see in the National Museum of Scotland. Also, we went to visit the Writers' Museum as well. There is also Kelvin Grove Museum. I visited here when I went to Glasgow. So Glasgow is around 1 hour drive from Edinburgh. And Glasgow, the University of Glasgow, I think has the most beautiful building in the UK. And the last one would be the National Galleries of Scotland. If I'm not mistaken, this is the portrait of Queen Victoria that they sort of lent to the National Galleries of Scotland. And so these are some of the museums and culture. And mind you, these are all free. So you can enter the places, and a lot of public places in the UK are free, which is really great because especially for tourists, for people who love to learn about history, you don't have to pay to enter a public place where you can actually learn about the culture and the history of a city or a building. And since Edinburgh is a city full of history, you could actually enter a lot of places, no charge at all. And also the streets and the architecture are beautiful as well in the UK. On the left side is the Monument of Scotland. And the second picture is the building of the University of Glasgow. It's a shame that I didn't get the full landscape view of the university, but it was really, really beautiful. And the third one, I'm gonna let you guess because I know a lot of you know. This is Big Ben, actually, in London. And the fourth one is one of the village in Edinburgh. It's Dune Village, and it was one of the best walk that I have ever had. I went there to just sort of like clear my mind after a long day of studying, especially when I did my dissertation. When you walk there, you would find a lot of shops. You can buy a lot of snacks to help accompany you to no, sorry. It's called Dean Village. I didn't know why I say Dune Village. It's Dean Village. It's one of the best spots in the UK if you want to just walk, and it's a must visit because when you go there, it feels like you're in different centuries. And let's move to the next slide. So these are the people of Edinburgh. One of the things I really love about the people in Edinburgh is because they are diverse. They come from a lot different parts of the world to Edinburgh. Like, for example, in my class alone, we have around 10 countries, people from around 10, 11 countries in my class. Mind you, there were only 26 of us. And these are the videos that I took around July or August last year. So it was around the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. So you will see the crowd, a lot of people in the crowd, but it's not always like this the whole time of the year. There are times there that it would be really quiet. There are times where it would be less people on the street. But mostly when it's around Edinburgh Fringe Festival, I think it's one of the biggest festival in the UK. It's spent for a whole month of August, and it's one of the best time if you want to go out and spend your time with your friends and your families. I think it's one of the best time to visit Edinburgh, but you have to be careful because there are a lot of people outside. And that's about the people. These are also some of the most iconic moments. So it's iconic for me because this is my first times. I visited Big Ben, which one of the landmark I always wanted to visit since I was a teenager, I think. And I got to experience snow for the first time in Edinburgh. I got to see the platform 9 3/4. Very iconic for every Harry Potter fans. And also I get to fly. I think this is called the Around the World Sky Flyer or Star Flyer. So basically, it was really scary, but I get to experience it at the Christmas market in Edinburgh. And we were almost at the same level with the music Monument of Scotland. It was beautiful to see, but it was also really scary, but I get to experience it at the Christmas market. And one of my dreams was to spend Christmas in the place where there's snow. So yeah, dreams come true for me. So yeah, that was around some of my iconic moments in the UK, and there are some slangs and language in Scotland that actually are different from the general English. That could be really confusing if you hear it from the first time. So these are some of the slangs that I would like to teach you guys. So one of them is blether. So blether is actually like a long chatty conversation. In Scotland, there is this term, it's called drinks and blether. It's basically you drink and you chat and you gossip for a long period of time. It's called blether. I think there was a cafe in Edinburgh or in Scotland, it's called drinks and blether. So basically they would provide you like place where you can comfortably drink and talk or chat with your friends for hours. And the second one would be cheers. This is the slang that I use all the time, even when I'm in Indonesia. It's the friendly way to say thank you. So when you're getting off the bus and you would say thank you to the driver, you would say cheers, because it's like a simple and fun way for you to say thank you. Mate, I think it's quite popular. Mate is one of the casual term for you to say friend or buddy. So you would say cheers, mate, which means thank you, friend, or thank you, buddy. And the last one would be knackered. I think I heard Ka Andre use this term when Ka Andre said
Yes.
that he was exhausted, he was tired. You can say I'm knackered, which means you're tired or you are exhausted. And also one of the thing that I noticed from British people is that they would say sorry a lot of times. When you walk and you accidentally like bump into people, even if it's your fault, they would say sorry. Or when they would say excuse me, they would say sorry. But it's not because they're sorry. It's just I don't know. I think it's one of the habit that they would do, and the habit got into me as well. So I would just basically say sorry everywhere I go, bump into people, or I would just say excuse me, or I would do something. It's just sort of like being one of my habit until I got back to Indonesia. I sort of stopped saying sorry. But yeah, I think it was one of my culture shock actually that everyone would say sorry to me, which is really, really weird. So yeah, that's the language and slangs that I would like to teach you. You could find a lot of Scottish slangs on the internet as well. These are some of the weekend getaways that you could go to when you're in Edinburgh. You would not be bored at all when you're in Edinburgh or in Scotland because a lot of places are free. A lot of bus rides are quite cheap as well. And if you're a university student, you would get free shuttle bus from one place to another. So yeah, for a student, I did have a lot of privileges. You have student discounts and you have free shuttle bus, and there are a lot of events that are free for students. So yeah, students privilege do exist in Edinburgh as well, because my friends in Australia, they said they didn't have student discounts. So I was really confused because in Edinburgh you have around 10 to 20% of student discount everywhere you go. So you want to buy say a laptop or you want to buy an iPad, they would usually give you student discount like £100 or like 200 pounds, which is around 2 juta to 4 juta rupiah if you convert it to Indonesian rupiah. These are some of my favorite campus life experience. When you are a student, there are a lot of experience you can get. This was really random. So one day we went to campus and there are randomly some alpacas that you could actually pet, which is really cool because I think this is my first time get really close to alpacas. And there are these places called Dynamic Earth as well. The videos is buffering, and some other experiences are me joining like seminar or like workshops, and those are really fun. And I think that's all about my experience. I would just like to give you some tips for the future students, that you have to be open-minded, of course, because you will meet a lot of students from different countries, different places, especially when you study abroad in countries like the UK or the US. And you will meet a lot of people with different habits, with different cultures. And there were a lot of things that sort of surprised me, shocked me, but I think that's one of the lesson for me to be more open-minded, to actually accept people according to who they are, and it was actually really fun. And also join clubs. I didn't really get to join a lot of clubs when I was in Edinburgh because we only had 1 year, and I feel like that was like too short of a time for me. And but if I had a chance again to visit Edinburgh as a student, I would definitely join more clubs. And you have to explore. You cannot just spend your time in your room or just in campus, but you have to actually explore, because Scotland and the UK in general, they have beautiful places for you to go to, historical place. And yeah, that's, you have to explore, and also you have to embrace your culture. I lost count of how many times I learn about people's cultures, and I love to share about Indonesia as well. I feel like every time I talk to my supervisors, I would say something, a random fact about Indonesia, and they would tell me about their cultures as well, because not all of them are from UK. So you would learn a lot of things from them. And I think to immerse yourself as well in the local culture in the place you're studying in, I think it's one of the way you could actually learn that people are different, and you can actually have a lot of things to learn from people as well. And I think that is all. You can let's stay connected. I'm on a lot of social media platforms, so if you want to ask me about something about studying abroad in the UK or about LPDP in general, just hit me up, and I would love to reply. Thank you very much. I think I'll give back the floor to Miss Hari, and I'm so sorry for taking such a long time to speak.
It was wonderful. I wish you can keep going, Miss, because like so many things that we can talk about Edinburgh. So it was wonderful to see from your slide as well. And so, like I mentioned to you in the chat, that this is now we have Q&A session. And this is your chance, guys. So Miss Leah has been there, done that, so if she finished her study, so you can ask about LPDP. You can ask about how, whether like the Edinburgh will be a good university for you, or maybe about the city, or Scotland. How difficult is it to adapt with the, accent there? How long it takes for us Indonesian people to really understand the accent, and how beautiful the accent is. And yeah, feel free to unmute um, yourself and ask directly. You can do that. Or you can also type your questions in the chat. Okay, while waiting, please. Okay. Oh, we have here. Thank you, Adam. Yeah, Adam asking about Your favorite food? Oh yeah, that would be interesting. So what is your favorite food there, Miss Leah? And is there like, is it difficult to find halal food?
In terms of halal food, it's not difficult to find because you would find a lot of like food tents where people would sell halal food for everyone because there are a lot of Muslims there as well. So people would understand, and every time you go into a cafe or a restaurant, they would ask if you eat halal food or not, or they would usually place like a sign in front of a restaurant to tell you that this place sells halal food or not. And my favorite food, funnily enough, my favorite food in Edinburgh is actually ramen. I know, because I think I don't really eat local food in there. I cook myself, so I did cook a lot of Indonesian food, but when I eat out, and mind you, it's also really expensive to get food at a cafe or restaurant. So I would actually do that once or twice only a month with friends when we go out. But there was this ramen place that are actually really good. So my friends and I, every time we went out and we wanted to go for lunch, we would actually opt for ramen. But I think when I was in Scotland was the first time I think that I started to like English breakfast. I enjoyed English breakfast, and I think in terms of local British food or like food in the UK, I would say I love English breakfast. Even when I'm in Indonesia, every time I get to like go and stay at the hotel, I would opt for English breakfast all the time because I love the baked beans. It's really nice. I think I really love it. I don't know why. But yeah, English breakfast. But my favorite food all the time when I was in the UK was ramen. It was like a Japanese ramen place. I forgot the name, but yes, ramen.
Awesome. So yeah, I think it's very unique as well that you mentioned you like baked beans because it's got like reputation, outside the UK, like bean on toast, like, yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Okay. All right. Adam has another question, but before that, let's give a floor to Willie. Willie,
Okay.
Bro Willy, Anakai
Halo Kak,
From Turkey.
Hi.
Wow, thank you for joining us all the way from Turkey.
Oh, hello.
Go ahead,
halo
Kak Willy.
kakak semua. Can I just use Indonesia because I have some friends in here that also.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, okay. Actually my best my question is just about like how you dealing with like when you feel like you're homesick and you miss your family. For me, like nowadays, I tend to feel like I feel alone. Like I don't know. I think it's just because like I miss my family.
Yeah.
So how you dealing with this kind of emotions? That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kak Willy. I would video call them most of the time if I miss them, but I have moved out from my house since I was 15 to did my high school. So it's been around 11 years now that I didn't live with my parents anymore. So dealing with homesick or being independent when I was in the UK was not really a struggle for me because I got used to it. But when I feel like a homesick or like I really miss my grandma's or my mom's cookings, I would call them, I would video call them, and I would get them to accompany me the whole way through whatever I cook. And one of the way for me to deal with that as well is cooking. I just find random recipes that I saw on TikTok or Instagram, and then I would cook. Especially, I would just make it according to my taste, Indonesian taste. And sometimes I would ask my grandma how she would cook this because usually food is the way you bring home to you. That's one of the way I deal with homesick, actually, Kawili.
Awesome. Thank you,
Thank
Kamil,
you.
for
Thank you,
the
God. Thank you for the answer.
question. Okay. Now, okay, let's Adam asked what about the travel fare? Is it really affordable or it bit costly in Edinburgh?
In Edinburgh, one one tra bus ticket costs around £2. So it's around 40,000 rupiahs, 40,000. But people love to walk. I love walking when I was in Edinburgh. And when I checked Google Maps and it said, oh, it's gonna be 20-minute walk, but I would just walk around Edinburgh because you would love the city. You walk around Edinburgh and I just fell in love with the city even since my first day I was in Edinburgh. So but if you're a student, you would get free shuttle bus. So but it was just from one campus building to another campus building because it actually took quite a long walk or like a long distance to arrive there. But a lot of students get the privilege of getting free shuttle bus. Other than that, if you get into like a tram or train, it would cost accordingly based on where you go to. But so far, I get student discounts as well. I took buses, but most of the time I would just walk if the place was in like close distance, or if I just feel like walking, or I just feel like saving my money. Some friends do have like a bus card, so it's around £50 per month, around 1 juta rupiah per month, and you could take unlimited bus travel from one place to another for the whole month. So yeah, I would say it's quite affordable in Edinburgh.
It's cheaper than in Bristol.
Oh, really? How much does it cost in Bristol, Kak Andre?
At my time in 2018, 2019, with student discount, it's already like £60 per month.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
That's
it's
quite
more than
expensive.
a
Yeah.
million. Yeah. So I think last year, 2 years ago, it's even more expensive.
It's
Yeah.
quite cheaper in Edinburgh for
Yes.
a lot
Yes.
of things,
Yeah.
but it's almost as expensive. I mean, the living cost is almost as expensive as in London. We
Hmm.
did try to raise the living allowance from Edinburgh, but we didn't get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, in
So
general, it's quite expensive to live in Edinburgh, but the travel, the buses, I think it's not really that expensive.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so moving on to the next question from, I'm really sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, Miss Jen. Where did where did you get your bachelor's degree?
I did get my bachelor's degree in Kupang, East Nusa Tenggara. I did take chemistry science in Kupang, Universitas Nusa Cendana University in Kupang. And I continued my master's degree in climate change. It's quite a cross major. I did learn science when I was in my bachelor's degree, but then I learned about in climate change, in carbon management studying when I was in Edinburgh. We did learn more about politics. We did have a little bit of science, but mostly we would deal with how we adapt with climate change, how we mitigate climate change. We learn about climate change issues, and I did study about sustainable entrepreneurship as well. So it's quite a cross major, if I would say. But yes, I did my bachelor's degree in Kupang.
Right. Okay, awesome. Mission is
Oh,
actually, yeah.
Awesome. You
hi,
could
Miss
follow the
Jen.
path. Yeah.
You're next. Yeah.
You're next. Exactly.
Yeah.
Question.
So,
We
okay,
pray for you.
another question from Miss Amelia. How do you overcome the difficulty of understanding the Scottish accent? Yeah, I'm also curious about this. And are there any communities there that help international students improving their, English skills?
Um, about being used to Scottish accent, I think just spending your time a lot with Scottish people would help you get used to it. I watch a lot of videos where they are explaining about the Scottish terms and slangs, and you just get used to it. I didn't have like a special or like a specific trick to understand Scottish accent, but spending your time alone around Scottish people would actually help you. Funnily enough, in my class, we didn't have one Scottish people. So some of them are from the US, some of them are from London, Some of them are from Australia, from Oman, from Germany, but we did not have one Scottish people there. Even we only had one professor and he was Scottish. And other than that, we didn't have Scottish people. But when you go to cafes, restaurant, bookshops, most of them are Scottish. So you would just understand what they say. I have a funny story though. I got lost on my first mandatory class when I was in Edinburgh. I had no choice but to ask people. So I went into one of the university building. I asked the front office person, and he was Scottish through and through. He was speaking in like a thick Scottish accent, but so I didn't understand a thing he said. I understand only left and right. And fortunately for me, he was speaking with his hand as well. So he would say, you go left and you go right. Even though it was Scottish accent, I counted how many lefts did he say, how many rights did he say, and magically I arrived at my destination safely. I was 5 minutes late, but yeah, that was my first time encountering how difficult it is dealing with Scottish accent. But then the more I hear Scottish accent, I think the more I get used to it, and that's how I would understand when people speak in Scottish accent. I think the most difficult one could be Scouse accent as well. Also, I heard if you heard Adele speaking in English, it was disaster for me. It was like a nightmare. I couldn't
Like
understand what Adele
Cockney
said.
accent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's a Cockney accent.
Cockney accent,
Yeah,
London,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Adele.
Londonist, yeah.
Yes. So Scottish accent, I think it's comparably easier than Scouse or like Cockney accent when Adele speaks. So yeah, I just get used to it.
Yeah.
And
So
sorry, Miss Hari, there was also a question about how communities to improve international student
yes.
communities to help international students improve their English skills. I think I don't know. In Edinburgh there was actually a community when you want to improve your English skills, but it's not a community, it's more like a help center. So if you're having trouble with your English, especially in one of the four skills like listening, writing, reading, or what's the other one? Yes, the other one, you would go to like a help center, or you could go to your student accounts and you would find like a help button, and you would usually there are a lot of help there if you're finding difficulties with that. They do help with, especially with writing as well. They do have classes or like sessions. It can be a private session, totally free. So if you're having trouble with any of your English skills, you can go to the university for help. And that's one of the things that I love from the university, because you really get your privileges and you really get help from them, especially you're entering a difficulty. So that's from me.
Yes, so yes, there are, right? Support for international students. I think usually university there it's like a mandatory for them to make sure that they can support international students and help you succeed in your study. So and also before you go, you can practice with us.
That's what I wanted to
That's right.
say.
Yeah.
That's right.
You can practice with Sumba Cendekia and
Yes.
Cemara Education as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Join us. So we have a session, it's a regular session. So I think that that that's one of the ways, right? So
Correct. If
okay.
I may add to the answers, yeah, like in Bristol, they also have BISC. BISC stands for Bristol International Student Center. So from the welcome, yeah, from the time you arrive, yeah, you are very much welcome to BISC. Yeah, so it's a like a center where all international students gather, and there you can meet people from many different countries, and you can practice your English with them, and then you can ask questions. And the volunteers that work there are usually locals, Bristolians or British, And yeah, they can provide all the informations from accommodations, transport, and anything that you ask really. And like Leah mentioned, yes, at the university, if you have difficulties with your assignments, yeah, especially writing essays, yeah, you can go to the help center and they have schedules where you can pick based on your time preference, and then you can consult. Yeah, you can share, oh, I have difficulties writing my essays. Yeah, how should I structure this essay? How do I organize my ideas in this essay? So the tutor that is in charge will guide you step by step. Yeah, and it's personal. Yeah, so they can have group class, and they can also have one-to-one session. So it's more private, it's more personal, and you can get this personal support. So no need to worry. Yeah, if you're there, you have a lot of supports. And part of it, if you have mental health issues like homesick, there are also helpline that you can contact, and you can meet these people, and you can share your problems and issues with them, and they can help you, give you advice on what to do and how to overcome those issues. All right, that's from me. Thank you. Back to Miss Leah and
Thank you,
Bahari.
Andre.
Yeah.
Thank you, Valerie, for the information. I think this is well, it could be like one of the most important question as a future students that we have to know, we want to know about the education system there, about how it's different from Indonesia, maybe like the culture in terms of education and how they conduct the teaching what we call it process or something like that. Honestly.
Okay, so the education system are, I think from what I experienced, it was totally different from what I had in Indonesia. Since I was in kindergarten through when I was doing my bachelor's degree, when I was in my undergrad. I think one thing that I really respect and I think is quite different is how they actually encourage you to be more active in class. So we had a debate with our professors, we had a debate with our classmates to actually understand a topic. And this was not really a thing back even when I was still in university. One thing that I really noticed is a lot of teachers back in my time, they would say something like, whenever you ask something, they would say something like, I actually told you to read about this, or ibu or bapak sudah bilang kalian harus baca tentang ini sebelumnya. So they would say something like that, which sort of discourage you to ask questions because it would mean like you're not smart enough. That's why you ask questions. But the thing about asking questions is that because want to know we want to know something, we want to learn something, and that's why we go into an education system. So that's quite different, and that's sort of discouraged a lot of people, especially in my generation, to ask questions when we were in school, unless when you go to international schools, for example, where the education system actually follows the international curriculum. So they would encourage you to ask questions. But I mean, in my time, based on my experience, there were a lot of discouragement from teachers, especially when you want to ask questions, when you want to be more active in class, there would be words saying something negative that would make you feel so small, so little. That's why it was hard for some people to ask questions or to be encouraged to do something. But when I was in the UK, I had fun time talking, discussing with my professors, with my supervisors, and when we learn, we use technology, and that's one of the fun thing about learning. You use technology to understand because climate change basically is something that's changing all the time. The news, the politics of it, if you watch the news, Donald Trump and all of his, rules and policies, especially about climate change, we learned about that as well because every day it's changing. in a fast pace. So you would use technology to do that. And I think because the technology is sufficient for us, it was easier for us to learn. And when you are divided into groups, usually you would only be divided into 2 or 3 people group. And I think that's also different from when I was in Indonesia, because you would be divided to 5, 6, 7 people in one group. So some people would work and some people would just, sit and wait for their names to be written as one of the as part of the group. But when I was in the UK, everyone works. Everyone did their part, and we were not forced, but we were encouraged to learn about something. They also are very respectful, especially about concern. Not about concern. Consent. Sorry, I tried to remember the word. They are very respectful about that as well. So I think it's not in a forceful way when you study it in the UK. It's not in a sort of like you're being forced. I think it's more of you're being encouraged to go and to study and to understand what is going on with what you're studying as well. And I think that's what I really love about studying. I didn't feel like studying unless if I had assignments, of course. I would not sleep until 5, 6 in the morning because I was doing my assignments, or I would spend my time in the library. But when I was in class, meeting people and meeting my professors, comparably, my professors were nicer than the other professors. So I met some of LPDP friends from other courses. They asked, "Oh, what major are you in?" I said, "Oh, I'm carbon management." And I would say, "Oh, you guys from carbon management are always smiling because we didn't have exams. We only have assignments, but it was quite stressful actually. But when we were in class, it was really fun. If you want to have questions about your assignments, you just email the professors. You call them by their name. So you wouldn't say, "Hey, professor this or professor that." I would just call them, "Hi, Adam," or "Hi, Matt," or "Hi, Rebecca." And they would try to remember your name as well. They would remember your like nickname that people used to call you, your family used to call you. So it would feel more friendly, I think, for me when they call you Leah or they call you Priscilla, because it feels more warm, more friendly, and it makes the situation or the condition in the classroom way more warm and welcoming for me. I think that's the stark contrast with the education system basically in Indonesia that I experience. I think that's it.
Awesome. So I think it's wonderful to hear that students actually encourage and expected to ask questions. It's not that,
Yes.
no judgment. You are expected to have questions because, you're students, you're learning. And I think I believe now to think about the education system, there maybe I could be wrong. So I think the way the lecturer or maybe the professor is not like one way, like what we used to have in Indonesia, right? So it's
Yes.
pretty much really how to say that? It's, I think, I would say go to UK for your master degree. So, okay, Kak Billy has another questions here. What is your goal before or during this your study? And what happened after you graduate from this from Edinburgh? And what is your feeling about it?
Okay. Thank you so much for the question, Kawili. I think two, starting from around a month, 3 or 2 weeks ago, LPDP awardees are a lot of LPDP awardees are sitting in a hot seat because of what happened before. I know that a lot of you have read the news as well, and I think the question from Kawili also resonate with that as well. What I wanted before my study and how I feel, what I do after graduating and how I feel about it. So I still remember it vividly. What I wrote in my LPDP essay, I wrote that I wanted to be a climate consultant. So basically, a consultant for companies or organizations focusing on sustainability, especially about climate action. That's what I wrote, and that's why I went. That's one of my goals, and that's why I went to study in the UK, especially in carbon management or climate change. And after that, I started working in a brand company in a brand strategist company. So basically, I'm working in a consulting company where we do marketing, digital strategy, and also right now we are expanding to sustainability effort and sustainability initiatives for our clients. So it will take time for me to learn how to be a consultant, how to do consulting as well, especially for big companies. But I'm currently learning, and I think when I met Ka Andre last year in November, I told Ka Andre a little bit about what I do for work as well. And it was really scary at first because I did study science in my bachelor degree. I did climate change for my master's degree, and suddenly I'm working in a marketing firm, and I had to learn about marketing from the beginning. I remember I would have Chat GPT with me all the time, every time we had meetings, because I didn't understand any of the marketing terms at all. And I would whenever they would say something, I would just find out, oh, what does this mean? But that's one part of my journey to learn about how do actually I do consulting. And I would like to, at the end, I would like to combine what I do with this consulting firm and what I have in terms of my climate change study and my concern. So in the future, my ultimate goal would be to be a climate consultant, where I basically consult companies and organizations regarding their climate actions, regarding their sustainability initiatives. But I know it's going to take me a long way, and I do enjoy learning new things. So it was unexpected for me to work in this, but I know that God puts me here because He knows that this is what I need. So yeah, I'm enjoying every step of it, and everyone around me has been really, really supportive. And I hope in the near future, I could get a scholarship again to get my PhD. But I'm still enjoying my work here. So yeah, and this is part of my journey, and I'm feeling really, really happy about it, even though sometimes it could be exhausting. Sometimes I would be knackered after work, but yes, I hope at the end I would achieve my ultimate goal, and that's it. Ka Willy, thank you for asking. This is a really nice question for me.
Thank you. Thank you. So now I think this is like we're almost at the end of our session. Thank you so much, Kalia. Thank you so much, everyone, for asking the questions. Thank you so much for Kalia for answering and giving us firsthand information experience, right? So, and I think I will give the time to Pa Andre. Maybe Pa Andre will do like some announcement, and after that we will close this session.
All right. Thank you very much, Mbak Hari, and thank you so very much, Miss Leah, for sharing your amazing, wonderful experience, the slides and the videos and pictures as well of what Edinburgh and Scotland look like. I regret for not taking the opportunity to visit Scotland while I was in the UK. So seeing all the photos and videos made me feel like I truly miss UK and the weather. And I think there's a saying, yeah, about the weather in the UK. If the weather is not nice, just wait a moment because it changes very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
yeah. So just wait a moment. Yeah. If it's bad weather you see outside right now, just wait a moment. Yeah, because it might be sunny and then suddenly in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it's gloomy again, overcast, and it might rain, but most of the time it's yeah, it's cold, like Miss Leah experienced. And yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I could relate to every story that you shared tonight, and I feel yeah, really, yeah, uh, like strong feeling to go back yeah, to the UK. And I hope everyone enjoyed listening to this talk show. And thank you very much to all of you guys who ask your questions. And for those who haven't asked questions, as Miss Leah mentioned, you're welcome to reach out to her and yeah, contact her. And yeah, not only about her experience studying in the UK, but also about her work because it's something amazing, something new. I remember when we met last year. Yeah, it was. Leah mentioned I was a bit scared. Yeah, but I'm willing to try and I'm willing to learn. And there she is now. I'm so glad to hear that she's been enjoying her work. Yeah. So studying overseas can really open doors to many opportunities, guys. Yeah. I myself have been asked to do lots of different things, not just teaching. Yeah, like last Thursday, I became a translator for a family mediation. This is totally new. I was scared at the beginning to do that, but yeah, like Leah, I also learn about this family mediation sessions. I learn about all the laws, yeah, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos. So yeah, the most important thing is how you learn how to learn. That's the most important thing. So if you know how to learn, you can really learn anything, and the learning that you've done can really take you to many opportunities. So I hope tonight's session Beyond Sumba Talk can also inspire you and give you strong motivation to if you're now applying for scholarship or preparing yourself to really committed to doing it. And we pray that yeah, you can get the scholarship and then continue your studies, not only to get a master's degree but also to get a PhD or a doctoral degree. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much to Mbak Hari as well for being such a great moderator for tonight's session. And our next collaborative meeting with Chamara Education and also with English Assistance Rote will be about almost 2 weeks from now after the Eid holiday, which is going to be on Thursday, the 26th of March. So we're looking forward to seeing you all again, where we can have fun learning and practicing English together because we're going to have an impromptu speech or table talks where each of you will be asked to practice short uh, public speaking. Yeah. So come again and stay tuned or stay updated on our social media, either in Chamara Education or Sumba Cendekia, and also English Assistance Rote. And Adam, special thanks to you because you're still joining this session while riding your motorbike. Be careful on the way. Yeah, and have a great weekend. Have a uh, yeah, wonderful Eid holiday next week to anyone celebrating Eid holiday. That's all from me. Bahari, anything you'd like to mention? Yeah,
Yeah, maybe
please.
scholarships that you can try if you want
Yeah,
to study in the UK. So LPDP for sure.
yeah,
Chevening,
yes,
usually like open around July, August. So you can prepare for that. And another one, especially for women in STEM, there's like a scholarship. I think it's a British Council scholarship for women in STEM. So you can check that as well. So, and yeah, we're rooting for you. Hopefully, you can achieve your dream. And we are sure that you can achieve your dream as long as you put the effort. And I think, yes, keep moving forward, guys. So let's go. Let's do it. So let's achieve our dreams. So thank you once again to Miss Leah for a wonderful sharing. I learned a lot about Scotland. I've never been there. I hope I hope one
You
day.
should, you should.
Yes.
Yes. So I hope one day I could visit Scotland, and thank you so much for Pa Andre for Sumba Cendekia for making this thing happen. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yes, thank you so much. Miss Leah, all the best with
Thank
your
you, Kak Andre.
career
Thank
and all the
you.
plans. Yeah. Okay, Kak Willy, all the way from Turkey. Yeah. Hope everything goes well with your studies. Yeah, if you feel homesick, we're always here. Yeah, reach out, call us, have video call with us. Yeah, we'd be happy to share lots of
Yes,
things with you.
yes, Kak. Siap,
Okay,
siap, Kak. Thank you.
awesome,
Thank
awesome, Kak
you.
Willy. Yeah, all right. Nisha, Dian, Mbak Nadia, Rian Ahmad, Miss Ondang, Adam, thank you very much. Have a good night, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Miss Leah, Miss Hari. See
Thank
you
you.
again.